Hello, my lovelies. This is a reading for Virgo for March 2019. I hope you're all well. You need to hang on to your hats and buckle up your seatbelts, and because things are about to really shake up your world, and it's not just for Virgos, it's for all of us. There's a major planetary shift on the 6th of March, so a big outer planet called Uranus is moving out of the sign of Aries, where it's been visiting for 7 years, and it's jiggling along into the sign of Taurus, where it's going to stay for approximately 7 years. So mainly the outer planets affect us, generationally speaking. However, because you are an earth sign, lovely Virgos, and because Taurus is an earth sign, when Uranus shifts into Taurus, it's really going to shake your world. So uproot some of you as well, with a feeling of it can be quite shocking, it can be quite disruptive, and a part of you might think, what on earth, literally on earth, well, what on earth is happening? So Uranus is all about sudden change. It's shocking, it is out of the blue. Uranus rules electricity and earthquakes and revolution. So if the last 7 years it has been in a fire sign, and it's been cooking up stuff and burning up stuff and bringing things to the boil, as it moves now into an earth sign, it will ground things. It will bring things from the heavens down to earth. Uranus is the sky god, so it's bringing heaven to earth. So the part that you are about to play in this could actually shake you up, because it's going to shift all of us out of our comfort zones. And Virgos do like their routine and everything in its place. Now, a lot of this that is going to enter your life will, yes, it might be out of your comfort zone, but actually it's going to bring you a better way of living, a better way of being, a better way of seeing things. So they're showing me a wishing well, and it's got a little wooden roof on it and a windy up handle that the bucket can go down and bring up the water for you. And there's a lady standing by the wishing well, and she seems to be the guardian or the keeper of the well. And I see some of you Virgos walking past, ignoring her, and she's offering to bring some water up for you to drink from, and you just walk past. No. And she's also saying, why don't you throw in a coin and make a wish? And she said, oh no, I don't believe in any of that stuff, that's a load of old hocus pocus. But I feel that analogy is a part of you that you can no longer ignore. So water being what makes up most of us, and if in some of you that water has become stagnant, so your fluidity of movement, etc., has become stiff and stagnant and such like, then it's, yes, drink plenty of lovely fresh water, but also it's about going with the flow. So it is said that when we try and paddle up river, it's very hard work, and just to put your paddles in your canoe and allow the river of life to take you. So with this major earth changes, it's looking towards the future, because Uranus also rules the future and groups of people and the media. So you may find an awful lot of things showing up in the media with regard to things changing upon the planet. But also this will be a reflection for you of things changing within yourself and in your lives. So if you've had a long-term plan, say for the last almost 30 years, 28, 30 years, what can come in for you is a windfall. That's what I'm hearing, a windfall. So make a wish, drop some money in. If there's not a well around you, then drop some money in a river or in the ocean, and make that wish. And a part of you might think, oh yes, well, you know, it is a bit silly, it is a bit daft, but you are actually setting an intention. You're showing the universe that you're willing to open to some form of windfall coming into your life. Now, yes, this can be financial, but it can also be okay, I'm being shown Miss Havisham, who was a character in a Charles Dickens story of Great Expectations, and she was jilted at the altar, and she was a very sad lady, and she remained in her wedding dress, and all of the wedding banquet, the food remained uneaten for years and years and years and years, and it was all dusty and cobwebby, and she was this very sad old lady, and this young chap called Pip came into her life, and he opened the shutters in this room, and it was a huge room that she was in, so that the windows were probably 15 feet high and enormous shutters, and she just sat in the dark all the time. And he came along and he ripped the shutters open and pulled the curtains, which were just in tatters, to let the sunlight in, to let the air in, and to blow all of the cobwebs away. So this says to me that there might have been some of you who are watching this who have existed rather than lived, existed for a very long time in this state of like being in a cocoon, where your heart was wounded, was broken, was for some of you it felt like ripped from your bodies, and would not allow any light into your lives and a feeling of joy and happiness. So this Uranus moving into Taurus is like Pip coming in and ripping the curtains off and the shutters open and letting that fresh air in, and it's shocking. So it's like, it's not exactly, well, it could be a gale force wind comes through your life, and it's to blow away all those cobwebs and that sadness and that misery and feeling sorry for yourself, and not believing that anything can ever bring you happiness again. Well, that's what's coming in. It's a huge winds of change coming in to blow those cobwebs away, to make you feel alive again, to get you out of that awful rotten old wedding dress. It could be men as well as women, and to change the ending to that story. So rather than it being a disaster and a very sad end, is to change it, change that ending, rewrite the script, bring about a glorious rebirth and a feeling of I'm not giving any more negative energy to that situation. I've fed it for long enough. It's like you're spoon feeding an old memory, an old wound, an old hurt, and you're not going to do that anymore, because now it's time to feed yourself, to nurture you, to bring you back into a state of worthiness. I will bring into my life now those things that are worthy of me. And I've chosen some oracle cards for you, and the first one is compassion. So it's this beautiful angels hugging each other, feeling this heartfelt connection. And the word compassion means with passion, with passion. So if you've had no passion in your life, if you've shut everything down, or cobwebs around the old heart, this is a rebirth. It's an awakening. It's a bursting out of that cocoon and becoming the butterfly. Now, some of you might think, well, how on earth do I do that? It's going to happen anyway. Because of the energy shift on the planet, nobody's going to get away with it. Nobody's going to escape this huge energetic shift. It can stir you to your bones. It can be quite shocking. It can seemingly come out of the blue, but the timing is right. And it's for all of us to make the necessary changes that will enhance our lives now. And you may see people around you who are floundering and thinking, oh my God, I'm going mad, there's strange stuff going on. It's actually waking up. You're all waking up. We've been asleep for a very long time. And this is about waking up and seeing life in a totally, totally different way. And for an awful lot of people, it will be shocking. You as the Virgos are very grounded, usually, very down to earth. And you like to take your time and look at the details. So I feel that for some of you, you will be able to analyze these changes with your logical mind and be able to explain it to others. But also what's coming in with this Uranus energy are spiritual awakenings. So it's like your soul being birthed into your consciousness and you finding out why you're really here, what you're doing in this physical body, why you met up with all these people around you, what their part in the game is. So with the self-mastery cards, we have flexibility. Yes, for some it's being able to touch your toes. Not sure if I can really do that anymore, but anyway. But being flexible in your thinking, in your motion in life, in your movement, how your mind can move. And also, Virgos are ruled by the planet Mercury. So mercurial minds are very quick, very fast, whizzing around all over the place. And Mercury's actually going retrograde on the 6th of March until I think about the 28th. So you might be thinking, oh God, not again. But actually this is a very interesting Mercury retrograde because it's going to be in the sign of Pisces. So Pisces is the 12th house, the 12th sign, and it's being able to delve into that Neptunian nebulous, fascinating, imaginative energy. And so when Mercury goes retrograde, we revisit things, or things come from the past to revisit us. So you may feel over this next 3-week period that you might be leafing through the pages of an old Dickens novel and see who you are in it, you know, which character jumps out and says, oh yeah, I'm just like that, or I'm just like that. And to realise it's just a story. It's just an old, worn out story. And that you no longer have to play that part. You no longer have to play that role. Because it's worn out. You know, it's it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve anybody around you. It's the difference between watching an old black and white movie and a colour one. Although some black and white movies are absolutely incredible and they've got wonderful acting and wonderful stories in them. So it says flexibility. I let myself flow with situations. So that's what I said. Put your oars in the canoe. Don't try and paddle upstream. As a master, I am not flustered or stressed by difficulties. I let everything go, passing through me like water through my fingers. So there's the water again. When we try to hold on to things, thinking that that's your security or your stability, actually it isn't. And so things might be feeling quite unstable around us in the coming months and even years, and how we adapt ourselves to that and become flexible with these shifts and changes, because it is the change is for humanity. So it's not just for the individual, it is for our spiritual growth, for our higher consciousness, our connection with not just planet Earth, but the cosmos, all the other planets, all of the other parallel universes, etc., etc., and how one little thing that we do affects everything else, absolutely everything else. So it's about looking after ourselves. When we look after ourselves, everything else should fall into place. Water has come up again here. So this is a lovely ascended master called Oshan, and she says, drink more water. So if you can find yourself near a body of water, if it's a stream or a lake or the ocean itself, it's being able to resonate with it, because we are, we say 95% water, even though you are an earth sign. We know how we feel when everything is flowing beautifully through our lives. So if there is a sense of stuckness around you, yes, number one, drink water. That will always help. Say if you've got a headache or you've got some aches and pains in your body, it's said that most people actually, the reasons why they die is they are dehydrated. They don't have enough water in their bodies to flush things out. So if there's things that need to flush out of your life and get rid of, drink water. And also bless it before you drink it. So whether it's tap water or bottled water or spring water, when we bless the water that we drink and then we imbibe it, it works with the fluid and the waters in our own bodies, and it brings us to a very different vibration, a different resonance. And there's a wonderful Japanese chap called Matsui, I think his name is. It'll come to me. And he took photographs of water crystals, and he took samples from polluted lakes and rivers, and he found that when he froze them and then photographed the crystal, if the water was polluted, the crystal was broken, so it didn't form completely. And if he took water from a pure source, frozen, photographed it, it was the most exquisitely beautifully formed crystal, a bit like a snowflake. And then he found if he said positive words to the polluted water, and or he put a label around a bottle of water with positive words on it, say love or happiness or joy, the pollution disappeared, and when he photographed the crystals again, they were absolutely perfect. So it just goes to show that sometimes when we take things into our bodies, food and liquids, if they have a toxicity or a sense of pollution to them, then that's why our bodies become toxic and polluted. But if we bless everything before we imbibe, and especially water, we are setting up this detoxification energy within us. And so it's not just about the body when we drink blessed water, it's about our whole being, a whole sense of self, and how we go with the flow, or allow our bodies to flow in the right way. So the animal card, oh my goodness, there's two, I didn't realise that. Oh, you are lucky you've got two. Right, the first one is wolf, and that's number 15, which adds up to 6. So 6 is balance, responsibility and love. So this is self-love, loving yourself, everything about you, warts and all, absolutely everything about yourself. And wolf is a tribal animal, a pack animal. So family is very, very important around you at the moment. And there's always an alpha male and an alpha female. So where do you find yourself in your pack? Which role are you playing? And wolf energy is also the teacher. So when he shows up in a reading, or she shows up in a reading, what can you teach to others? What knowledge and wisdom do you have that you can share with other people? And now is the time for it to emerge from the depths. So the little mini one says, find new paths and options, break through, be a role model, share your inner knowing. Now, not only have we got Uranus moving into Taurus, Mercury going retrograde in Pisces, but there's also a new moon in Pisces on the 6th of March. So this new moon energy is always about new beginnings. But because Mercury is retrograde, these new beginnings can actually stem from the past. So if something wants to come up and revisit you, it can come from your past in this lifetime, but also from a previous one. So I know for some private readings I've been doing recently, some past life stuff has come up, and people have said, you know, I always wondered about that. I've always been able to do so and so and so and so. Nobody in my family can, and I'm not trained in it, but it just seems so easy to me. And so we discovered that in one past life, these abilities were learned and trained in, and they brought them over into this one. So if something shows up in your vision, in your life over this next 3 weeks or so, that you feel drawn to, it could be a course that you might like to go and do, or an online session with something. Follow it through and see where it resonates with you. Now the second animal that showed up is moose. He's 11, number 11. So 11 is a master number, and 11 is the visionary, the prophet, the psychic. My birth date adds up to 11, so I'm using this master energy now, doing this reading for you. So moose energy is about stamina, and also when the moose calls, he's announcing himself. So it's about spreading his seed and his carrying on for the next generation and producing another generation after him. So my sense of this extra card jumping out for you is, if some of you feel the need to announce yourself, so if you've been hiding yourself away for a little while, not feeling good enough, not feeling educated or qualified, or nobody's going to pay attention to that. Well, they are, absolutely. This is really getting out there and getting on top of that hill and that mountain and saying, look at me, look at me, look at what I can do. Look at what I've come to share with you. And it's not about competition. It's not battling with anybody. The moose is a powerful creature and doesn't really have many enemies. His horns are antennae. So this is your ability to send and receive. So Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So there's no coincidence, you know, this showing up and the 11 energy. So don't be surprised if you start to get some psychic vision, some intuitive insights, some messages from the gods, and abilities opening up. So your clairaudience, clairvoyance, because the timing is right. And it's not just acknowledging that you have these gifts and abilities, because you've got the wolf as well. This is teaching it, sharing it. Whether it's healing, you maybe feel drawn to learning a healing modality, whether it's Reiki or bone therapy, shiatsu, something like that. And again, that might stem from a past life that you had abilities as a healer. And whether you're qualified or not, you're very good at putting your hands on someone and making them feel better. Whether it's humans or it's animals. But this energy is calling you. So the wolf is howling, he's calling. And he's baying at the moon. So this new moon in Pisces on the 6th of March. Pay attention to it. Because when we put out the call, it's always answered. And if you don't know exactly what it is you are calling for, call anyway and say, show me. Show me what it is. Show me what I need to know. Bring to me something that will not only enhance my life, but enhance the lives of others. So these are powerful messages for you, my darlings. Very, very powerful messages of how you can adapt to the shifts and the changes. This huge energetic shift coming onto the planet. How you can guide others with your inner wisdom and your knowledge. Yes, you might feel a bit wobbly, which we all might. But because you can find your feet very quickly compared to some of the other signs, the wolf is also about leadership. So it's finding your place as a leader in whatever arena feels comfortable for you. So I hope that's been of some help to you, my darlings. I've enjoyed reading for you. And if any of you would like to go a bit deeper and have a personal private session with me, then the details are in the box below. So I wish you a wonderful March. And until next time, lots of love. Bye.